So, tonight we've got a bit of a special video for you. We have here Nick Bundy, YouTube sensation. He's been smashing the internet with YouTube videos about the life of an electrician, the exotic life of an electrician, and he's kindly agreed to come on and do a video with me and answer 20 questions. How you doing, Nick?
Man. I'm alright, mate. How are you?
Good, yeah, really good. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, man.
So you've been, how long have you been doing this YouTube thing now?
Was it 7 months, I think?
7 months, and you're about to smash 9,000 subscribers, right?
Hopefully within the next day, hopefully.
That is amazing, yeah. Or maybe if we push this video out soon, that'll tip you over the edge.
Yeah, man.
So, I wanted to ask you a few questions, just so that my viewers can get to know you a bit better. You're putting out some great content, which all of us can benefit from. And probably most of my viewers already know you anyway, but maybe some of them don't, so they'll get to know a little bit more about you. And I'm just curious, to be honest. I want to get to know you a bit better too.
Yeah, man.
So, first question, how did you become an electrician?
It all started really from, I originally wanted to be a carpenter. My granddad was a carpenter. My dad was a paint and decorator. And I always sort of like helped my granddad out. Enjoyed doing woodwork and whatnot. So the plan was do carpentry. So when I went to my college open evening, spoke to the lecturers in carpentry. They checked over my grades and they turned around and went, "You've got quite good stuff. Why don't you ask the electricians next door?" So my dad, being in the trade, he was like, "Yeah, go on, go and have a chat." And then all of a sudden, I was signed up to an electrician's course for 3 years.
Nice.
I know, right? So it literally started from there. So I worked there. I was at college. It was level 1, 2, and 3. Very dragged out course for 3 years. I mean, you could have compressed it down to, I would have thought, about a year for all 3 levels.
Yeah.
So level 1 was a year, just sort of getting to know it, like the basics and whatnot. But already at this time, I'd started working with a few different sparks around my local area. Getting experience, hands-on tools, all for free. Very similar to what Adam does with me now.
Yeah.
And one or two of them didn't like it as very much because, like I said in my videos, I was from a little village and I was going to sort of take and work from them, which I understand. You know, I get that point of view. So they sort of said, "We haven't got any more work for you to help." So I ended up going next town across, got a job, paid job. I mean, it was minimum wage, on doing agricultural and a little bit commercial, so the grain stores, pulling arm cables in, and it was enjoyable. But being the young one, and what all the other no apprentices now will know, you do get the royal mick taken out of you for you having to do everything 3 times over.
Yeah.
But then that was like level 2, and then level 3 I got a job for a umbrella company in Stafford Town Centre, one of the massive council buildings. And so I started working there, and that was level 3. So I started doing night courses at Stafford College with middle-aged men that were trying to become fully qualified around their other jobs. And they took quite well to me, you know. Took me under the wing a little bit. I had to mature very quickly from I was used to working with 18-year-olds in the classroom to then middle-aged men, and they were there to learn, and that was it. So yeah, that was, and as soon as I sort of did level 3, the contract came to an end at where I was working, and I'd already had to be self-employed to subcontract to the firm. So they sort of said, "Oh, do you want to come with us? Do you want to come to the next job?" And I just said nah, because it was like in London or Manchester or something. I just couldn't be bothered to travel. So my dad says, "Buy a van, go self-employed, you know, go on your own." And I have a lot of people message me saying, you know, should I do this? Yes and no. Like, yes, it was perfect timing for me. I lived at home, there was no overheads. I'd just become fully qualified. I'd had quite a bit of experience in domestic anyway, but the last bit of experience I had was commercial sort of thing. So I wasn't back up to scratch of going under floorboards or climbing through lofts. So yeah. I think it would have been beneficial for another year working for someone, personally. But no, it worked well for me. It took a while to grow the business, like being 18 years old and enjoying the pub too much and going out. Paperwork became, you know, the last thing to do. But hey, we'll grow up and mature at some point. So yeah, but that's pretty much my how it will happen, really.
Awesome. Yeah, well, kudos to you, man, for going for it and starting your own business. It takes some guts to do that, and it seems like you've really made a good go of it, so well done.
It's literally down to my parents, to be honest. It was all because he was self-employed and my mum did all his paperwork. It gave me the good push and the good edge over other people my age to do it and actually, do well in it, really. So thank you, Mum and Dad.
Yeah, it does have a massive impact, that just having that confidence from your parents that they've done it themselves and you've sort of grown up around that. It makes a big difference, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So I can see you've got some major tattoos going on there. What are they all about?
Right, let's see if I can put these in. We've got... It all started really, my parents used to hate tattoos, so ear stretchers and anything that was slightly out the norm. My dad was very old school, and my mum, to be fair, so it all started of, if you live under our house, know our rules, you don't get a tattoo, that's it. So I just started getting them when my parents couldn't see, like on my ribs or under my arm or across my chest a little bit where they wouldn't really notice it. And then eventually I just started telling them. I think my dad didn't speak to me for about 2 weeks for the first bigger one. But then I started doing them for meaningful stuff. So, I mean, you lot might have seen it when I went investing with them. So I've got a big one across my chest for like my granddad in the RAF.
Yeah.
Daughter, a classic clock with my daughter's time of birth.
Ah, wow, that's cool.
That was just spur of the moment, sort of silly one. And then bit by bit they've just sort of built up. And then these ones on my lower arm, like the owl, the wolf, the tiger, that's just because I liked them, to be honest. And I've got a little story I don't think anyone knows about, really. I don't know if you can see it well on the camera, but I've got written there, every cloud. And that was purely the fact with
Has the silvery lining?
Yeah, every silver lining, yeah. Every cloud silver lining, yeah. It'd be great if some people have seen it. Do you ever watch the BBC programme Ambulance a couple of years ago?
No.
Well, when my dad was sort of later on in care for cancer sort of thing, like later on in life, end of care sort of stuff, Mum had to ring the ambulance in the middle of the night, and she opened the door and there's a film crew pointing at her. And they were like the BBC film crew for Ambulance, and my mum and dad were on it. They were on like episode 3 or 4, not last season, the season before, and Dad was in the ambulance talking to the lady about what's happened through him with the cancer and all that, what's gone through in his head and whatnot. And he was mostly talking sense, most of it, but he was quite off his head on tablets and medication. He missed a few little tiny like he said I was having a son, a daughter. He said my brother was getting married in next month. It was like 5 months away. But he said but the beneficial thing for him, he said, because he had a lot of health insurance and a lot of insurances, when end of life came for him, he said it will then set his entire family up to, we already had houses at these points, but to help us out quite a bit. And he just went, oh yeah, no, it's every cloud, isn't it? And it just sort of stuck with me quite a lot, to be honest. And not a day goes by we don't miss him, but it just, I thought I wanted it on my arm, and it was one of the things that I showed my mum, and she was like, yeah, I'll allow it. So yeah, that's pretty much the tattoos. It started off with I'll get a couple, and then it's just spread down my arm, and everyone keeps saying, oh, you're going to get another sleeve done. It's just money, really. It's just money, and I had to be very careful of how far I went down. Do I go into my hand or fingers, or for work, self-employed purposes, it's always a bit iffy, especially when you're working for older people.
Are they expensive to get tattoos then? I have no idea how much a tattoo costs.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that was a day sitting, that tiger, and that was, I get it quite, I think he charged me $350 a day sitting, but it should have been $450 a day, but I'd done some bit of work for him, so he knocked a bit of price money off.
Yeah.
So, but they ain't
Not
cheap.
bad.
They ain't cheap. If you're looking at a good sleeve, you're looking at easily a couple of grand.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, you can go around the corner where I am and get, £1,000 sleeve. I'm not going to say I look very good.
No. You get what you pay for, like Electricians.
Pretty much, yes.
You just get like a massive blurred smudge of ink on your arm for £1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You just get a black
get your house rewired for 500 quid. It's the same thing.
Go on.
I'm glad you mentioned about your dad though, because we have sort of talked about this a little bit together in the past, because I lost my dad to cancer as well.
Yeah.
And you know, you've been through the same thing, and so we both know how tough that is. And one of the questions I was going to ask you, actually, is two questions that I like to ask people to get to know them really well. First of all, what's the best thing that's ever happened to you? And then what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Best thing, I mean, obviously we got the kids and whatnot, but I think the best thing ever really was meeting my other half. Genuinely, I wouldn't say put me on the straight and narrow as in I was bad or anything like that. It was just, it gave me focus, it improved me a lot. And then I had something to work for with work and a house, and it, yeah, 100%. Meeting my other half, it was, and then obviously the kids have come afterwards, and you know, you can't top that either, so that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. And obviously I am the best thing that's ever happened to her, obviously.
Ah, of course, yeah. Yeah, but they don't call them the better half for no reason.
Exactly. And then the worst thing, it would be, like I've pretty much said in my mental health video, if some people have watched it, would
that was
be,
amazing.
It was my dad and my a friend of suicide within a very close, you know, frame of time, and it was a difficult year, very difficult. Like I said in the video, my dad died and my daughter was born, and then my friend took his own life, and then it was his funeral, and then it was my brother's wedding the next day. It was like, wow.
4 weddings and a funeral, or 2.
Yeah, mate, it was a tough year, but it wasn't a bad year in the sense of, you know, my daughter and my brother's wedding, but equally it was very up and very down year. But you can't, I don't know, it's a difficult one, but that would be, you know, the worst thing really.
Life is a roller coaster, they say. Huh?
It is, mate. It is.
And that sounded like a roller coaster year, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know it's not always easy to talk about these kind of things, but it's really good that you did that mental health video. If anyone's not seen it yet, check it out, because this is a subject that affects so many people, and that video kind of was reaching out to quite a few people who are going through tough times at the moment. So it's good that you did that.
Thanks, mate.
So what is your favourite kind of electrical work that you like to do?
Sorry, my chair just went down. Favourite type, obviously domestic. I am qualified in everything else, but I've done my bit with that, with the grain stores and the commercial buildings and being shouted at and told what to do. So it's domestic for me, but my favourite thing to do is fuse boards. I love doing fuse boards.
Yeah,
but then you have on top of the people when you film a fuse board, how many things people can pick at it, and how many things you do, I won't say wrong, but differently.
There's doing a fuse board, and then there's doing one and putting it on YouTube, isn't there?
Yeah.
But you do learn things.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I've learned the hard way with my first couple of videos with people picking at stuff and pointing out things, and it has helped me become a better electrician. It really has, because not only do I think as my standard of work was great, not being big-headed, I was really chuffed with the way I worked. That's why I would put it online, people see. But then seeing people's other perspective and the way they do it, and watching your guys' videos, you pick little bits, all the nice little good bits that you think, I'll try that next time. And I have ended up spending more money on materials, you know, losing a bit on jobs because I could have made it, and made the quality work better, or changed something slightly that next time I'll go, right, that's a much better way of doing it. Which is good.
It's a great platform, YouTube. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man.
So, be honest though, when was the last time you had an electric shock?
Last week.
Serious?
Yeah, it was. It happens more often than not, but
yeah, okay.
I tell some people like that. It was. I got a call out. It was. I actually put it on. I think it was the last video I put on with the extractor fans.
Yeah,
I had a call out for a lighting circuit tripping, and when I got there, the lady said, "If the power's turned back on," and I was like, "Oh right." So, you know, what's the issue? Why was it tripping? Stupid thing to ask her, obviously. Why would she know? But she had a decorator around in the morning, who was wallpapering all the stairs and landing. So I thought instantly, right, we'll just pull a light fitting down. We'll check that. The new build, so obviously power's into the switches, so the neutrals run the switch with the earth. So I thought, well, if the RTD was tripping, we'll try that. And she'd already turned the power back on. So when I turned around and grabbed the switch at the bottom of the stairs, which was plastic, I got an almighty belt off of it because the paint decorator had filled the back box full of plaster. Plaster as in, wallpaper paste.
Ah.
So it wasn't quite touching the neutral, but as I touched it, it then belted through me and then tripped. So I was like, sweet. So we turned all the power off, just took the switch off, cleaned it all out, and there was, I would say, a good 4 or 5 tablespoons of paste in the back of the back box.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Decorators, plasterers. J. Beck Electrical put a thing on the other day about plasterers filling the back boxes, you know. It's just a nightmare. I'm quite fortunate that I don't really work around other trades that often, so I don't have to deal with it too much, but
yeah, it does happen a bit more than you think, but at the same time it's just part of the job, and I've just learned to accept that. It was no point in effing a blind about it. The woman was, oh my god, are you okay? Do you need an ambulance? I was like, I'll be fine, don't worry. It's happened lots of times.
Yeah.
But it was one of them equally, she's got young kids, and it could have easily happened to one of them. And I'm glad it happened to me, I can take it, but it would have been a different story with a little 2-year-old, 3-year-old touching the light switch. It could have ended quite badly, really. So,
yeah.
But I think the paint decorator got a big telling off from it.
Good.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, you should have turned the whole board off and, locked it all out and all that stuff.
I should have used my Volt Stick pen, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. You should have. What are you playing at, mate? You could have saved your body from being thrashed around by electricity.
I'm fine with it. If you can't take it, you shouldn't be an electrician.
Yeah, that's gonna open up some interesting comments. So let's move on. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you at work?
Funniest thing is, I say funny, disgusting / funny. It wasn't actually me. We're working around a lady's house, 2 towns over from where I live, and she had 9 or 10 house cats. And,
no.
I got there and there was, I think he was a chippy. We got there and he had a brew and she made him on the side and he's drinking it away and he's looking at me going, don't have one. And I'm like, what's the issue? And he got halfway down it and he was like, this is gross, and he tipped his mug out into the sink and cat shit fell out of his mug. Yeah. And she allows the cats to walk all over the kitchen side of the draining board, and I think one of them took a little nugget in one of the cups and she's just obviously just poured water into it, and it was just...
There's some houses that you know not to accept tea or coffee, don't you, in those kind of places.
Exactly.
Cats are the worst though. I had a customer a few years ago and they let the cats wee everywhere. I had to change these sockets and things, and the skirting boards were all rotting from all the cat wee, and it just stank. It was disgusting.
Nice.
There's the kind of jobs that you when you're quoting for it, you sort of add a 0 on the end and hope you don't get it.
Yeah. Times it by 4.
Yeah, exactly.
George, right, 2 seconds. Yeah. I'm so sorry. My daughter's screaming her head off.
No, don't worry.
Sorry, back in a sec.
A life of parenthood. So while Nick's gone, there's a couple of blaring things in the background that we need to discuss. First of all, that lovely chap on the left, DSS Electrical Dan. He seems to get everywhere these days, all the way up in Stafford. So welcome to the video, Dan. And also behind we have the eFix Apprentice Wall Winner Award. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, Gaz and Joe from eFix are doing these awesome challenges. I'm just talking about the eFix award thing behind there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, check it out if you've not seen eFix's YouTube and Instagram and all that. Check it out; they're doing some good stuff. Nick,
you need to have a go.
Yeah, I would just thrash you, mate. They don't want to let me anywhere near that.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's what everyone says when they talk to you about it, isn't it? Right. So, what is the worst customer you've ever had?
wouldn't say no. That's not good of me to say. It's hard to choose from about 3 really.
Yeah. You don't have to name them.
No, yeah, this is their address. I wouldn't say it was the worst customer. It was a guy that I used to. It wasn't sub for. I used to do his electrics. I used to do wooden gazebos for hot tubs and everything. And this is when I first started off doing electrics. I must have been doing it about a year or so. So he got me out of nowhere. I did one job for him. He was paid me on time. He was great. Enjoyed it. Then went to the next one and the next one, and then the more times I worked for him, the longer it seemed to get paid. And then I ended up going down to London, Manchester, Liverpool, doing all this stuff, trying to get it all done in one day, come back, and it ended up, I didn't get paid from one job, it was about £2,500 or something. And then he'd go, oh Nick, there's another job, and I'd go, I'm not doing it, like, you owe me money. And he was like, well, I can't pay you because the customer's not paying me, but if you do the next job, I'll have enough money I can pay you. I was like, oh right, okay, yeah, stupidly did it. And then this must have happened 4 times. I didn't get paid for four jobs. Stupidly, naively, at a young age, thinking, oh right, the guy sounds genuine, he seems like a nice guy, I'll do it. And I was owed about £8,000 in the end. And it was only, thank God, because of my mom writing letters. I know it's sad, but at that age, but she helped me massively, and I managed to get it all back eventually by knocking on his front door with my friend, who's huge. Can we have Nick's money, please? And he just went, oh yeah, I'll just go and get it now, and gave it to me. I was like,
what, in cash?
For 9 months. I know, it's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. Wow, you're really lucky to get it back.
Yeah, it's very different now. Like stuff like that makes you, learn and grow and understand what people like to get money out of. So. To be honest, I think we've all got to go through that. I've been through that as well, and it teaches you to be wary around people, because I think when you're young, you're just maybe a bit naive and you just believe everyone too easily. So sometimes you've got to learn the hard way. But we've all been there. Yeah, I think you say until it happens to you, you can go right. Yeah, we've got that box tick now, and then we can move on. Right, let's start doing it again.
Yeah, exactly. What time do you wake up in the mornings? Morning routine's always interesting.
Morning routine, I wake up around about 6 every morning. It gives me a good half an hour, 45 minutes to come and do paperwork, kid-free, in the peace and quiet, with a brew, just do what I want, have the radio on slightly in the background, and that's how, if I get up at, 7 when the kids do, I then mad rush to get everyone ready and out the door on time, and then try and get to work to beat the traffic. It just doesn't work. Yeah. So how is
she alright, by the way? I didn't ask.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah. She's just her Teddy dropped out the side of her bed, so she's really passing back to me, and then she just waved me off. World. Yeah, mate.
Okay, so you get up at 6, and then what time do you start your first job usually?
Normally, I'm at my first job getting the kit out for 8.
Yeah.
Normally.
Same.
Normally. I mean, if I'm working further away, no, my travel time really is maximum 20 minutes to half an hour ever.
Yeah.
So I'll leave the house around about 7:45, like 10 to 8. I'm pretty much pulling my tools out around 8 o'clock, or go in the house, sort of the customer. So, but then if it's further jobs away, like when I went to Tamworth the other week, Adam come to my house at 7, and we left straight after 7. So yeah, it was a shock to his system.
These young kids, they just...
I know. He sat up playing Fortnite all night, what do you expect?
Exactly, yeah. Oh man. So what do you like to do for fun or relax?
It's changed.
If you get time.
Yes, it is, if I get time.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of rugby, as you can see from the picture behind me, the shirt.
Yeah.
Stopped that because of the kids. It just took too much time up. I ended up, maybe you could ever see on my videos, I smashed my nose in, got a big scar on the top of my nose, fractured my eye sockets, perfect my eardrums, like, it knocked me around for work for a while. And then once that got better, I then played a prison team, and one of the prisoners kicked me in the head, which then perforated my eardrums again. So I just thought, I'll pass the torch for a couple of years and see when, if the kids are a bit older, I might take it over, but I'll be too old now. And then last year I bought a 3D printer. My brother had one, I bought one, just to make stuff for the kids. And I really enjoyed it, but I bought a new glass bed to make it better, and I broke it. So, yeah. and I've not been using that for a while. But to be fair, YouTube's taken over. I find it a good hobby. I really enjoy doing it and editing it and watching it. I've been a bit so busy recently. Any video I put out, I'm not quite been able to make the comments and reply to everyone like I normally try and do. But life, kids, really. But then on top of that, it's my relaxing times. Really just messing around with the kids, playing, PlayStation with the eldest, or sitting playing with the Peppa Pig phone. Constantly.
Oh wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like every kid needs one of those.
Present that she found under my desk early, so we had to
they have ways of finding things.
Mate, nothing can be hidden.
So do you get to do some exercise? Do you work out or anything?
No, never get any time.
It's hard, isn't it?
Mate, I get a lot of exercise with rugby, training 2 nights a week and then the match at the weekend, but I don't get time, especially working late or like now I'm doing YouTube. If I had a spare hour to go to the gym, it's now editing videos or doing stuff on Instagram or playing with the kids or picking the kids up. I just don't get time. When they're give it a couple of years, when they're all a bit older and more self-sufficient, when they're all probably just sat watching iPads every night, I might have an hour spare to go to the gym, but I'm alright. I've sort of kept myself in a bit of shape-ish compared to rugby days. Anyway,
Well, at least our jobs are semi-physical, aren't they? So it's kind of like we get a bit of exercise at work. But
in and out of loft 100 times a day.
Yeah, that's it. It's like the loft pull-ups, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. But your ladder's not quite long enough.
Especially when you've got sort of a shower screen in the middle and it's going to cut you in half.
And you'll die. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I got you some snacks if you're feeling a little bit hungry.
Get the voice down. Mate, every time you open the box, if there's one in the RCB, Adam picks it up. Nick, you're hungry. And every time I find it funny. It's so sad.
I tell you what, though, I want to show you this. Have you got one of these?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I saw
you
used it the other day in a video, didn't you?
Do you know what an electrician might use it for?
Picking up stuff from behind something or under a fuse board to check if the connections are in the buzz bar.
That's it, yeah. I just got it today, it just arrived from Amazon in the post. One of the guys recommended it to me because I was using my phone on selfie mode under the buzz bar to see if the teeth were all in properly.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And someone said, just get yourself a little dentist mirror, and I thought, that's genius.
Yeah. The thing is now though, because my phone's quite big, and the downlight holes I cut are too small. Before back then, to find a cable, used to stick them up, look around. Adam, give me your phone, because his screen's a lot smaller than mine. I might take Pepper's phone actually. That'll fit. But they ain't touch the buttons because it only just started turning. There's no off button, so you've got to leave it in standby mode because it just keeps ringing.
The battery drain must drain pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to change that again.
So let's talk about tools. We're talking a little bit about tools. Screwdrivers. What are your favourite brand of screwdrivers?
Weir.
Okay, yeah.
Not Weira. Weir.
Weha.
Weha.
Yeah.
I only started using them really, I think, beginning of this year. My wholesaler had them on offer, bought them, I was like, nice, like them. I think before I had Stanley... Was it Stanley? No, it wasn't Fat Max ones. Oh, the red and yellow ones. I think I got them from B&Q years ago.
Yeah.
But the problem with my screwdrivers is they're not just screwdrivers, they're chisels or hammers or crowbars or everything. So I get through them quite easily, to be honest. I don't look after them.
The good old screwdriver chisel. We've all been
That's
there.
It.
And the hole punch as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Knocking the back of mattresses out, taking all the bloody insulation off the stem. So.
Why can't they just make chisels that work as well as a screwdriver?
Mate, build it. Dragon's Den.
That is definitely, sockets and switches. What do you use for your go-to brand of accessories?
I would say cheaper wise, depending, just second fixing, just a normal job. Schneider or Click. If we're talking brush stuff, Eurolight, or all the brush Click stuff, that's nice, the deco stuff's nice. Or Hager. If it's an upper class client, you say, and they fancy a nicer. I mean, I've got Hager switches everywhere, just the white ones, just a nice rounded edge, beveled a little bit. Hager switches are nice, but they're just not cheap. So.
I've never actually fitted any Hager switches or sockets. I do Hager boards all day long, but I've never even tried the switches and sockets. I need to give them a go, really. I'm an MK person myself.
The switch has got the neutral connectors in the back as well.
Ah,
so
okay.
if you've got power to the switch, it's got its own separate connector in it, which is good. Terminal,
Nice.
should I say.
Yeah. I just end up, I have a stock of MK on the van and I keep it topped up, so I don't really end up using anything else.
MK. Yeah, I can tell you're earning too much money.
Ah. Well, you know, BG for the poorer clients, but...
Christ.
No, I don't. Click, I have used some. There was some other brand that they were giving me a little while ago and they were rubbish, and I just decided to stick with quality.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't going to have to come back and change it for a while.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing worse than a dodgy switch or a socket just because you bought a cheap and cheerful one.
Fact. Screwfix special.
Yeah.
Lap.
Oh yeah. Did you see someone on Instagram or something today? They changed it from lap to crap.
Oh, I was going to put this on one of my videos. Someone put it on the Electricians forum, and it was in the back of a downlight, and they took the cover off with the terminal. So obviously it was live Earth neutral Earth live, and someone put. Can anyone tell me which way to wire this Lennial downlight? Obviously L-E-N-N-E-L.
Oh no.
And they were taking the mick, but oh my god! I looked at it for a second and went, I've never heard of them. And then it clicked. I thought that was good. That was good.
Yeah. It's just too complicated for some people.
I know, right?
So consumer units then. What do you use for those?
If your companies are watching, used to be a massive Hager fan. Used to fit them all the time. Obviously, it cost them money, but I'd always try. I would never go really. I've only fit a few Hager RCBA, but it was purely down to cost. But recently, obviously, I bought a fuse box board. This is for Adam. The first one I did video with it was for Adam's grandparents' bungalow.
Okay.
And I was so impressed with it. And then I just fit another one and another one, and I got a bit of a stock up in the van. And then I had an old Hager one. I never did a video on it, but I put it on my Instagram. And people messaged me saying, "Oh my god, Fusible are going to be furious with you. You've gone back to Hager." I was like, "No, I had a spare one." But no, Fusebox all the way. I think they're great.
Yeah.
The build quality, the finish, the cost, obviously with an SPD as well. And you do get people saying, "Well, you don't need to fit an SPD." So for the cost of the board, with it included, just why not? So,
Yeah, I really need to try them. I'm just fitting Hager all the time because in Cambridge people have got money and they don't mind forking out for it.
sure.
But if genuinely the quality is not that much different to Hager, then I would definitely...
I wouldn't say so, to be honest. I think you should at least try one.
Yeah.
From fitting Hager all the time to then going to Fusebox, I couldn't really tell you much difference, other than sometimes with the Fusebox boards, it's a bit iffy sometimes trying to get the lid on properly.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's classic.
But that's with a lot of boards, I know that's what it's like. So.
BG are the worst for that. They're
Yes.
just rubbish.
Yeah.
You've got to lever the whole sort of middle of the MCBs up to get the lid on.
Yeah.
Absolute
Push the main
trash.
switch back down and then twist and then...
Yeah. So, what is the most expensive job you've ever done?
Oh my god, my chair's gone down again. I keep hitting it with my foot. Jesus. Anyway. Right.
I've got...
Broke my foot in half.
yeah.
Other than the one I was talking about to you the other day that I just priced up.
Have you sent the quote off?
Yeah.
Or was it 30 odd in the end?
48,600.
Nice.
So we shall see. I hope the guys, because the guy I spoke to with this quote, he wants me to. He's seen me on YouTube. He wants me to do a YouTube video on all of it.
Oh,
He
great.
wants to be involved on it. He likes that sort of stuff. He likes the Instagram. He wants me to you know, get a bit of what's the word, publicity on it. And I mean, we were talking for ages, it sounded like I had a lot going for me compared to other competitors. For all I know, you've got a company with 12 men that are going to go in there and price it up at £90,000. They'd probably get it done in, you know, a third of the time, but my cost is under half. So I don't know. We're waiting to see. So if it comes off, fantastic. If it doesn't, oh well. I've still got more than enough work on to see me by. So
it's a good position to
but
be in.
The most expensive job I've ever got, I think, was about £8,000. I think. And that was a massive rewind 4 years ago, I think. But realistically, that's about it. It's just because they had the most expensive stuff. It was downlights in every room, push sockets everywhere. It was 2 fuse boards. It was a lot of money on materials, and that was not me even charging that much labour to start with. This was, you know, before I started bringing the price up to what it should have been, rather than what I felt comfortable charging. I always used to have that with pricing rewires. I'd look at it afterwards and go, "Oh no, it's too much. I'll knock 400 quid off, and you know that'll be better." I would always get the jobs, but it's the guilt factor. It's the I would hate someone to come to my house to have that done, and then someone give me a price like that. I'd go, "You're gonna laugh." But this is me, because I can pretty much do anything in my house if I wanted to. I would just give everything a go rather than pay someone. Obviously, other than gas. I just, because I've always done stuff around the house with both my hands, I find it very difficult to pay someone to do stuff, and I know I can do it myself to a standard. I'm not saying it's going to be very good, but it gets done.
Yeah, pricing's always a tricky one, isn't it? Because a lot of people feel like bad, like, oh, I can't charge that much, but we've got to know our worth, really. You know, a good qualified electrician is worth a lot. And it's getting the balance right, isn't it? I sometimes feel like I'm expensive, but then, like today, the guy at the hotel told me the other guy quoting was 3 times as much. So
Jesus.
You just.
Did Dan quote for that on as well as you?
Yeah, that must have been Dan. Yeah.
Bless him. Bloody Cambridge prices.
It's all about property prices at the end of the day, isn't it? Though, you know, you can't get a 2-bedroom house for less than 350,000 in Cambridge. So,
Jesus.
It's all relative, mate. You know,
Relative. Yeah.
My rent is ridiculous.
Is it?
I can't even afford to buy a house because it's just so expensive in Cambridge. You know?
Christ.
Yeah, but one day. No. So, do you ever work nights or weekends?
No. Short and
sensible.
Sweet. Nights, no, unless I get a call out, which is very rare. If it's a call out, it's at 6 o'clock. I can get it done within an hour, or make it safe so I can go back to the next day.
Yeah.
Weekends, I really steer away from. It's family time, really. Unless it's a job. I worked the Saturday the other week just to tie some knots off, like for an hour or 2, and that was it. So I just try not to. It's better not to. You've got young kids. You want to spend time with them. You don't want to be working every hour under the sun, and then all of a sudden they're 5 years old and as tall as you.
Work to live, not live to work. That's the way forward.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable, isn't it? You've got to do the odd, bit here or there, but yeah, very wise.
I try.
What is the most money you've ever earned in a day?
Ooh. Took home after tax. I'd say about 800 quid.
Yeah. Which
is a lot. Thinking about it, but then I know there's a lot of people out there who would probably like yourself, 4.5, no problem. Half a day as well, that was. But,
how did you know that?
That was one of them hot tub jobs down in London, so
yeah,
I know it was massively overpriced for me, travelling and everything. I just smacked loads on the bill and got it done within 3/4 of a day, and on my way home thinking, wow, that was worth it. But then the guy never paid me for 8 months, 9 months. So it was one of them. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's quite inspirational.
I'm going to ask you that question. What's the most you've ever earned in a day?
You know what? I don't think it's quite 4.5 grand, but it might be about 3.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's just when you get a job that goes really well and you've like priced it way up because you priced in all the things that could go wrong, you know, something like that. So it was probably one of those. I mean, I can't remember specifically, but yeah, you can do quite well down here.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But it's quite inspirational, I think, for people who like want to become an electrician to know the possibilities for earning as well, because it's a good skill that you can earn a real decent living from it if you're good.
If you're good, but likewise, it's the same way you can earn. This is what I was trying to explain to Adam. We were doing a few jobs, just finishing off some loose ends, like second fixing about 3 kitchens. And it would work out where each day I was taking home, let's say 400 or 500 quid, 3 days in a trot. And he was like, wow, that's really good. And I said, but then the next 2 days at the end of the week were just remedial stuff, literally just finishing off stuff from other jobs, and you don't get paid at all for that day. I was like, it all works itself out towards the end of the month, mate. When you put it together and you lost time, you gain time, and it sort of equals out to, right, yeah, that's the sort of average I earn per month.
Yeah.
It goes up and goes down sometimes, but he understood after the 2 days of doing those little crappy jobs to then earn nothing from it, because it was finishing bits off or popping back to sort something else out that broke or whatever. You don't earn anything from that.
Yeah. That's what people don't realise as well. When you say how much you charge or whatever, all the overheads and everything with running your own business, and it just cuts in and cuts in and cuts in. So you're charging this much, but you're actually earning at the end of the day, a lot less.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, cool. Do you do any smart tech installs?
A few thermostats, some cameras, but not really, not yet. I'm sort of staying away from it at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of electricians are a bit kind of like, ooh, about it.
No one really around my area wants it. And
Okay.
the people that have done have asked me, and I can say on one hand it's only I've fitted. But I know it's all going to go that way eventually. But I'm hoping to try and get my brother trained up at doing the smart stuff, because he's a very technical guy, very IT. Got this word wrong last time. He's very
Oriented.
Good. Yes. I've got my series kicking on my phone. So eventually try and get him involved, whether or not I can do stuff and he can work weekends and just connect, because I'll happily run all the cat cable, I'll do all the bits and bobs of Jason, and he can do connecting up at the end. He's earned a bit, obviously we've put more on the job, we've earned a bit more from doing the smart stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to happen eventually, so.
It's a good little learner. I do a lot of Nest thermostats. I'd say in the last month I've got about 30 or 40 inquiries for Nest thermostats. But I'm usually charging more than everyone else for those, so I don't get all of them. But I only do it if it's, worth it, kind of thing. But they're really nice. They're really nice to install, and they're great. I mean, I've got one here, like behind me on my shelf there. Yeah.
Oh, mine's on the wall. I've done it properly.
Ah, yeah. Well, I'm in a rented house, so.
That's true. Yeah.
Have you thought about doing EV charging points?
Yeah, I am booked in on January the 13th and 14th, I think.
Awesome.
Up Stoke, so get that sorted, and then stick that on the side of the van, give that a go. I mean, the theory behind it isn't difficult. One of the first time I watched was one of your videos doing it, which then I remember asking you a couple of questions about it. I think it was I can't remember the make now, the wooden one. Really nice.
Oh, Anderson. Yeah, they're amazing.
Gorgeous. We wouldn't fit anything like that around the area around here. Probably just get robbed off the wall somewhere.
Just put double socket in, mate.
Yeah, easy peasy, no problem. But the house across the road from me is just sold, and the people came up to the other day and said, "Oh, you an electrician?" No, I just haven't written on the van. And they said, "Do you do smart EV charging points?" I said, "I will be." I said I could run everything there to it now, and they were like, oh well, our friend does them anyway, but he lives in Lincolnshire or something. So can you just run the cable and then he'll just connect up both ends? I was like, it's almost as bad as saying, if he does it all, can you just test it? You know, when the builders do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I'm looking forward to doing it because give it 2 years, that's going to go massive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Cambridge is a little bit ahead of the game with that as well, because it's all the sort of early adopters who live around here, and so literally I'm just getting several inquiries every week for EV charging points as well at the moment.
They're a good money in them as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it can be, but it's the same as anything. You've always got the people who are just chucking them in and doing a rubbish job, not doing them according to regs, putting these stupid little plastic Rolex boxes on the walls and I mean, I've fitted a few Rolex and they're alright, but they're a bit flimsy. So
they're bottom range though, aren't they, compared to the other ones that you fitted?
Yeah, Anderson are amazing. I'm going on a course tomorrow for EO. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're really nice. They've got some really nice charging points. And they're doing like commercial fleet charging as well.
Oh right, yeah. I met the guy that does. Is it Isaac? Oh, I can't remember now. Was
Zappy?
The what? Sorry.
Zappy, is it? My Energy.
Zappy? Yeah. Their one, they don't have to have an earth spike or anything. It's all built.
Yeah.
Wow, what a piece of kit! And then obviously the tablet as well with all the information on your app and whatnot. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, great things.
But that looks expensive.
Yeah, I think Zappy's about 750 quid or something for a Zappy. The Andersons are about £1,000. The Rolex are about 500. So it's it's a difference, but it's not insanely different.
Yeah.
And for the quality and also the less work with the Zappy, that you don't have to put an earth rod in and stuff, it's actually going to save the customer some money on labour and materials of putting an earth rod in and stuff. So
you can put it right next to an outside light as well. Done.
Exactly, yeah, just simultaneous contact.
No problem. No, right.
Yeah, there's so many regs with EV charging though, it is a bit confusing and everything's still kind of getting going really, so yeah, but I enjoy doing those jobs.
Yeah, I said they're gonna be all we're all doing soon anyway, so
that's it. Yeah, we're all gonna be driving around in Teslas.
I know. I need to. I'm waiting for that email from Ford saying, Nick, we like your channel, have a brand new electric Ford Transit Custom on us. Just do us one video. All right then.
You know what? With your luck, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually get that.
It was really it's funny. Mataba tried to send me something else the other day, and I had to say no, not me. Just ask Jordan first.
Oh, thanks. So if they contact me now, it'll be out of pity.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nick told us to send you some stuff, so.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Well, it's been awesome chatting to you.
And you.
Thank you for answering some questions. It's great to get to know you a bit better.
No problem.
And keep up all the good work. We hope that you smash 10,000 subscribers very soon. If you had to predict, when do you think it will happen?
Oh, Christ.
You're on about 1,000 a month at the moment?
About that, yeah. So it's going to be, middle of Jan? Middle of Jan?
Can you hit it by 31st of December?
Oh, mate, well this is the thing, because I mentioned it on one of my videos, I've got a massive giveaway to do. Massive. I've been very fortunate, a lot of companies have given me some stuff to go, yeah, Nick, have it, give it away, do what you need to do with it. But I might give it the big push within December to get it, so we'll see. But I mean, there's absolutely amazing things to give away that people are going to be well chuffed, so all you got to do is like and subscribe, it's no problem.
Great, well I'll put a link in the description of this video to your channel, so anyone who's not subscribed to Nick Bundy's channel yet, go over there and subscribe and watch some of his videos. He's putting out great content. And you've overtaken me, mate. You were like straight past, but I'm gonna catch up with you. Don't you worry.
Well, that's the plan. When are you gonna hit 10?
Well, I'm on about 650 a month at the moment, so I reckon within 3 months.
Yeah.
But you know, with a bit of a push, maybe 2. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll get there. And then
We
we're
will.
on to 20. Then we've got to catch Chris.
Yeah, we're all heading for Thomas Nagy at the end of the day. That's where we're all aiming.
Christ.
But his comedy factor is just, you can't quite reach that height.
No.
It's been great talking to you, mate. Thanks a lot, and
you, mate.
see you again soon.